As the gentleman from Georgia, Mr. Bishop.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for being here, Secretary Bessent. I wanted to ask you some questions about the reports that the administration is cutting IRS workforce roughly in half with a goal of 50,000, including many of the frontline enforcement positions. A recent study concluded that this would result in a loss of $19 billion in foregone revenue just in 2026 and up to $350 billion over the next decade. Such substantial cuts in staffing could cause reductions in voluntary compliance as taxpayers will feel emboldened to cheat on their taxes. And an IRS official previously testified that a simple 1% decline in the compliance rate translates into $30 billion in lost revenue for the government. If the administration is truly concerned about reducing the federal deficit, as you indicate, why would it consider staffing reductions that reduce the IRS's capacity to collect much-needed revenue that could be used to reduce the deficit or pay for critical services? A recent Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration's report indicates that the IRS compliance workforce would be drastically hit 31%, with revenue officers 18%. They are paying the maximum taxpayer compliance responsibilities that are needed for revenue for the government. It appears that 31% of the reduction in force, and I think since January, the federal workforce has been reduced, and IRS started out with 103,000, and now it's down to 91,600, which is an 11% reduction in the workforce. That's 31% loss in revenue agents, 18% loss in revenue officers, 10% loss in contact representatives, and 10% loss in tax examiners. It seems to be really, really foolish to pursue that. Can you tell me why that makes sense? Briefly.
Sir, so I think there are two things here. There's the actual decrease that you just cited, which is about 11%. And then if you could tell me where you're getting this number that there's going to be a 40 or 50.
The IG's report.
Sorry?
The IG's report.
There's going to be a 40 or 50% decrease because, sir, I will tell you.
That was the goal.
Before I took this job, I didn't particularly like the term fake news. Now that I have it, I think it's probably not strong enough. Okay, because on March 22nd,
let me change the subject. Let me move to another subject, Mr. Secretary. Thank you. If you want to elaborate, you can send us.
I'll be happy to have my office.
Let me say that since this administration has come to the White House, the price of groceries has increased by 0.5% in only 2 months. According to a recent report by the Groundwork Collective, the price of meat, poultry, fish, and eggs has grown the fastest, up 2.9% since January of 2025. Eggs at a record high of $6.23 a dozen, up from 26% in January 25 alone. What is the administration doing to bring down the cost of food? What is the administration doing to ensure that the impact of the tariffs don't disproportionately fall on our nation's farmers? I've got a list of headlines from farmers all across the country that are complaining about the impact of the tariffs on their capacity to sell their products. Can you tell me what the administration is doing to bring down the cost of food?
Well, a couple of things, Congressman. First of all, you may or may not know I am a farmer. Secondly, that we inherited a momentum. Food prices, like monetary policy, have long and variable lead times. The price of eggs was up substantially during the Biden administration. It has been brought down 52% in the past few months. And
it just went up? the last 2 months? I just told you,
No, sir, I think that's not 100%
since
accurate.
January,
And finally, we are
26%.
we are bringing down energy cost, and energy cost, transportation is one of the single biggest factors in food pricing. So diesel prices across the country have come down, and that will result in lower food prices.
Chair